how the TS files is look like very simple TS files, and just the definition of the your HTML page and your CSS definitions, what you need to do define. Maybe you need to be dynamically change your colors, so what it is you need to be changed here, your definitions. And we have a second components like map components, and it's just this is the main when you start the component build, and then it has to define the components and then selectors and URL router. So initializer. So what I need at the moment, what the import for the map functionalities, there's some import is not used. We need the map URL import from the OpenStreetMaps, and this is the XYZ coordinate import, tile layer, view layers, view components. And here's the, if you think this is the it's one of the important part you need to be think about, what's the difference between the curly braces and then also the without curly braces. Curly braces means inside the curly braces means you are calling the functions basically, or constructor of the respective class or map from the respective class or interfaces. So here is the curly braces. See the curly braces here, one of the example. Transformations is here one example. We use the vector as an input class, and icons as a class from the OpenStreetMap style layer, OpenStreetMap style package or class, and then a package and resource package called the vectors, and the overlays is the overlay vectors, and this is the transformation functions from the degree, minute, seconds coordinate transformation to this. So you did all the import what we need, or what's the features you need, and they define it. So we declare your call the call variables like as dollar variables. We declare variable local globally. You see the OL is a global variable settings. Already you know the when you have some experience with JavaScript or TypeScript, you know how they define JavaScript variables. Even though you can got it here bar JavaScript variables, but in the standard world, TypeScript and then Angular, they said it if you declare const is not using the, or let is possibility, let is better than var, and const is better than let. You can use it all the combination depending how we program it. So you see the components has a selectors, and this is the selector is coming go to the, and then these pages. And this I define your maps, my maps as a variables. I declare maps as a class members variables, so any types. Type any types means it doesn't matter what type it is. OL maps, this is the sources, and the tile maps, view, overlay, and some set of some region we need to some central coordinate points. I put it like this, two variables, the coordinate points, and then some projection systems, and EPSC 4326 is for depending which projection system. If you have Google Maps, they have a own EPSC number, and if you have an OpenStreetMap, they has a different number. Even though if you have a GPS, and then there's a different number. That's why I put it here. So you saw that when you build the components, it's automatically build your class and then implement something, and then you have an initial loader. So that is some example you need to be think about. This is a logger. It's just like in the console, even though you can implement your NGS logger information. That means when the application started in the console, the deployment container see all data information. I will show you when the logging integration, NG logging integration done by my applications. So some just like give us really overview idea. So we have a coordinates points, and then you have a outputs like you transform you use the functions that I say. This is the function call. Your function components transformations, if you call your functions and transform the coordinate points, and then you see that in the console level. I will show you when the console is running. So on the application, the console is running. I will just check it down. So if initial loader on ng init, then we have I have two implementation OSM tile maps, OSM dynamic data views. So let's have a check these functions very fast. This function what I have at the moment running. Two functions. It is a logging information. I see that there's information like when someone mouse position to get it mouse position. You see the applications. As you see the application, you move the mouse. You see the coordinates here. You see the left side of the coordinates is sorry, showing the here. And if you click the application, you see the coordinate is formatted. Like you can copy this application coordinate and put it to into your respective forms and build the registration process finish. So this is the functionalities at the moment we have it here. So mouse position I define his here. Okay, here's the and new variables, new variables, new OL control, the mouse position control, then coordinate formats, which format we like to show in the digit replacement, the positions, decimal points, and projection systems, and then class name is mouse, custom mouse positions, and then HTML elements to see it. So where is it to set the HTML element to your HTML page? You see the mouse position div element. So div is the target is maps, and then this is header calls, because when the application is started, then has the header to be header, and footer is there down level. That's I said here, the header and footer. This is the components, and this is the the component map components, the mouse position that you see here. The mouse position is here. So you see the mouse position. So mouse position, yes, you see the get documents by get element by ID, and then you put it this ID to the your HTML page, and that's all. And this is the some more text. So general standard map loading. So we load the maps. We define our maps as a OML map resource. Here, then we define our declaration maps. We import the libraries, define the variables of the objects, and then we load the maps from here. So new OL maps loader and target. This is the target. You define your HTML this page. Sorry, something wrong. So this is so you define your mouse pointers, you load the maps, and the default control means the zoom in, zoom out, and here that's you see the default control, these two button, default zoom in, zoom out control. And then we load our layers from the, you see the mouse, the extend mouse position control that we define here, our constraint, our variables, objects, and put it here as extension of the mouse position. When that means when you click in the maps, and then you get your coordinates points. OpenStreet map loadings, and this load the tile maps from the layers, the tiles, OpenStreet loading sources from the OSM, the OpenStreetMap cell. So you can OpenLayer has the possibility. If you see here, the loading different, because just X and Z loading is a tile server loading. So X and Y, which tile server you need to, maybe in Bangladesh have 50 or 20 or 60 tile server, you need to be URL to inject it and then load the respective tile server to the applications. So here's a different idea to take the OSM maps based on the focus points, picking central points, and then we set it here. This is the standard call of the survey, call of the maps, and set the layers, and the base layers means the OpenStreetMap base layers. And with this base layer, you build your overlay layers, your top layers, your application layers. The view is a center located here. You see the 90, and this is the central position. Then when you start application started, when the map is loaded, and map you focus on this one. And this is the focus is running when you click positive and negative, zoom in, zoom out, and it's focused based on every time where the focus point is located. Even though when the mouse is zoom in, zoom out, even though it's taking every time the considerations where the focus point is located. So that's it. Now definition of defining the map style. This is the most important, one of the most important part. So when you build your features like your geometry features like point, line, polygon, then you can define itself what style, where's the colors, where's the width, and then they see the black. You see in the maps, and then you see the black colors. So color is black, and even though the color is black, you can do red or white, even though I don't know, Bye.